And we're back on the Fowler Show. It's time for Can We All Just Get Along? And tonight, we are saying his name, Stephon Clark. Another innocent black man shot by police. This time, in his grandma's backyard. This young black man was a father. He was a son. He was a brother. He was a nephew. And most importantly, he was an American. Following the shooting of an unarmed black man in Sacramento, dozens of people took to the street to protest the murder of 22-year-old Stephon Clark, who was shot dead by police in the safety of his grandma's backyard while clutching nothing but his cell phone. Protesters hit the streets on Saturday for the 5th consecutive day of action. Black Lives Matter has joined the protest, as well as various other organizations and individuals, including former Sacramento Kings player Matt Barnes, who helped organize Saturday's rally. And he said the following: "We came here today to raise awareness," he said, "not allowing them to sweep this under the rug like they do the rest of the things." America, when is enough going to be enough? While we are taping this show, another unarmed black man was shot in Brooklyn, New York, for carrying a pipe. According to the police, according to the NYPD, he was in a shooter's stance and was shot 10 times for carrying a pipe. America, something has got to give. We have got to do better as a country. I hate doing these segments. I hate talking about these issues because here's the truth. The truth is that all police aren't racist, right? 99.9% of police officers go to work every day and they protect and they serve their community. And the truth of the matter is that 99.999% of black men are good, upright, standing citizens. Yet here we are, more black men being killed at the hands of police. And over again, America, you see commentators on the right, they bring up this whole, every time a black man gets shot, they bring up this, oh, black on black crime. And I always say, what is black on black crime? There is no such thing as black on black crime. There's just crime, period. Statistics tell us that white people, more likely than not, shoot white people. And Hispanic people, more likely than not, shoot Hispanic people. And black people, more likely than not, shoot black people. You have never seen them do a segment on white crime in the trailer park. You have never seen them do a segment about Hispanic on Hispanic crime. But you always, every time a black man is shot at the hands of police when he's unarmed, you always have this conversation about black on black crime. And then they turn the victim. In this case, Stephon Clark. They try to turn him into some sort of monster. Like he was some evil, sick, twisted individual. But Stephon Clark was a father of 2 little kids. Stephon Clark was a brother. According to police officers believe that Clark was in possession of a toolbar, according to their accounts. Officers said Clark motioned towards them, and one of them could hear him yelling, "Show me your hands, gun, gun, gun." Clark had nothing but his cell phone, but both officers have since been placed on administrative leave. A private autopsy was performed by the esteemed Dr. Bennett O'Malley, a pioneer who research led to the revelation of CTE in the NFL, and whose story was depicted in the movie Concussion, where he was basically played by Will Smith. And what that study found revealed that he was struck 8 times, including 6 bullets hitting him in the back. Meaning, if he was shot in the back, America, that means he was shot while walking away or running away from the police. And police are trained or they're supposed to be trained, to only use deadly force if they feel like their lives are in danger, which means somebody will be coming towards you, lunging at you. So you want to see bullets shot in the front, but not in this particular case. Bullets were to the back, but that's neither here nor there. We've got a problem, America. We've got a real problem on our hands, right? And it goes beyond just gun violence, right? Because yes, we have a gun violence problem. We saw that in Parkland. We saw that at the YouTube headquarters this week. But we have a problem not only with gun violence being taken when strangers walk into schools and walk into places of business and shoot them up, but we have a problem when those individuals who are sworn to serve and protect our community damage our community, when they hurt our community, when they pillage our community, and when they tear our community apart. And I'm not talking about all police, because not all police are guilty of this. But when one police officer does it, sadly, the entire police force and the entire police profession becomes guilty for one bad actor. So here's what I'm asking for folks. This is what I'm asking for people to do. I'm asking for good police officers to begin to stand up and say, hey, what this officer did here was wrong. For far too long, what we have seen over and over again is we've seen bad officers and good officers all hide behind the cloak of their union. And I'm a pro-union guy. But the union now has become so powerful that everybody hides behind the cloak of their union, and no good officers stand up and say, this was wrong. This police officer was wrong. They should have never shot this young brother. This brother was on private property with a cell phone, did nothing wrong, and was shot and killed for no reason in particular. So you really can't get mad at black people. And you really can't get mad at a community that already mistrust the police. We've mistrusted the police from the time of slavery because the police departments and sheriff departments were created to catch freed slaves. Right? And then you got to take that history a little bit forward, because after slavery, right, when you take us into Jim Crow, police were used to beat black people. Police were used to unjustly arrest black people. Police were the face of Jim Crow. Police were used, they unleashed police dogs on us to bite us. When black people fought for the right to vote, they were beaten by police at the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Take it full, now let's go a couple years forward. Then you go to Rodney King, where a black man, an innocent black man, was viciously beaten by police on camera, and yet these police walked innocent. I don't have a problem with police. I have a problem with the fact that the criminality of police officers isn't judged the same as the criminality of everyday citizens. And to be frank, the criminality of police should be judged to a higher standard because they take a higher oath than the rest of us do. I've never taken an oath to protect and serve my community and to uphold the Constitution. That's the oath that the police take. And so they have a higher standard in which they should live by. And thus when they do wrong, and thus when they harm the community, and when they pillage the community, they should be held by default to a higher standard. And it should be their own officers, their own buddies in blue, that should be the first to call out a bad actor. It shouldn't be the community that takes to the streets first to say, we want justice. We know justice, no peace. It should be police officers, the good ones, that stand up and say, wait a minute, no justice, no peace, because on your bad actions is now my reputation. But sadly, we've seen the opposite. We've seen all of them, we've seen so many of these officers hide behind the behind the badge instead of speaking out for what's wrong. But here's the reality. The reality is this, America. Far too many black men who have been unarmed have died at the hands of police. Truth be told, far too many Americans, black and white, have died at the hands who've been unarmed have died at the hands of police. And it's time for that to change.